Hey everybody, it's Justin here, aka Demonic Sweaters. Today I've got a drum lesson, and this one actually was by request, but I apologize. The request was literally like probably over a year ago. But I finally, am getting around to doing it. I did take a note back then, and I was like, that's a good idea. I just never had a chance to do it. But I'm doing it now. So anyway, what this lesson is about is how to use double stroke rolls in context of fills while you're playing the drums. And yeah, so I thought that was a good idea to go over that. You can use double stroke rolls in a lot of different ways, pretty much endless ways. I'm not going to be able to cover everything here, but I'm going to give you a couple of good ideas to start out with. Before we get started, though, be sure to check out my Amazon shop down below if you're looking for any package deals on drum kits. If you don't know where to start, like what you need to buy, I have like a lot of things pre-configured and set up for you already. So you can just go there, check out the packages in pretty much every price range imaginable. This drum kit is in there. This is the Donner DED 200X, and this is the PD 705 by Avatar. I've got all this stuff listed in there. This setup that I have here is like not that expensive actually, and it sounds really good. Now the drums do sound different than what is available in this module because I'm using software to create my drum sounds, but I'll save that for another video. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So let me give you a couple examples first. I'm going to play a few things, and then we'll talk about what I actually am doing for these type of fills. So here we go. Okay, so what I was doing there was basically the same riff over and over again, and just using it in different, context and different parts of the kit. And what that is basically I'm using a double stroke roll. It's actually a 5-stroke roll. Now, if you're not familiar with this terminology, I'm going to try to explain it the best I can. But 5-stroke rolls, it's not that you're bouncing every, hand 5 times, every hand, both hands 5 times. You're still just doing a double, like 2 for each. And then, but the total of them equals 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm just adding one more. I guess it would be a 6-stroke roll. I'm adding in my left there, so I'm finishing it off with a left, like that. So it's double, double, single, single. Double, double, single, single. Now, see, the key to this, to make it sound good, you have to be able to not only roll, do your double stroke rolls cleanly, you have to be able to end them cleanly. And that's a big problem that a lot of people face. Like a lot of my students, they start to be able to do the double stroke roll, like, but then when they get to the end, they're kind of ending it like this, like, they're not getting a clean end on there. So you have to make sure that you have a really clean single stroke at the end of your rolls in order to do what I'm trying to explain here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that was bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, if I just do the 5-stroke, that could even be a fill too. We could go. All right, so getting the roll to end cleanly is very important. Being able to move freely around the kit like that just really takes just time with the instrument. The more time you spend playing and working on your double strokes. Now, if you're not even sure how to do a double stroke roll at all, I have a video, I'll post it down below, that I made a while ago, and it's not the best quality, but I do think it explains it pretty well, how to really develop your double strokes. But you want to make sure that you're not you're not using your hand or your arm to do the 2 strokes. Like, you don't want to go like that. You want the stick to do it. We're letting the stick bounce. Now, if you notice how my fingers, these 3 fingers on the back, a lot of times you'll see like inexperienced drummers or people that never really took a lesson, they'll stick these fingers out. And that's the last thing you want to do, because when you stick these fingers out, you lose all control of your stick. These 3 fingers are basically like springs when you're doing a double stroke roll. The grip is essentially in the front 2 fingers, your thumb and your index finger. And then these 3 fingers work as springs to kind of leverage the stick up and down. You see how when I go like this, see how those 3 fingers are coming out and then I'm pulling them back in. Now, it's not like something where I'm like really consciously, like going like this when I'm playing. I'm not like, it's just something I'm letting the stick do. Like, I'm letting the gravity and the rebound of the stick move my fingers more than my fingers moving the stick. Okay? Now, another type of fill that you'll hear a lot, almost more so than what I was just showing there, is the double stroke will actually be used more as like a ghost note. For example, something like this. Okay, so for that, I was just using the left. I was only doing the double with my left hand, so I'm kind of doing a double and then a single. Again, I'm ending it very cleanly. And notice how the left I'm doing quite a bit softer than the right. And then in context, now notice how I'm putting some doubles in there as ghost notes as well during the groove. Now, this video isn't really about ghost notes, so essentially they're just softer notes than the regular notes. But again, this just takes experience and working, playing over and over, working your muscles in your hands and able to, learning how to be more subtle in your playing. Now, the better your grip is on your sticks, the more proper, the more control you're going to have over them. Now, again, I can't really stress enough how important it is to hold your sticks properly. If you have a bad grip, I've seen drummers get pretty good not holding their sticks right. One that I see very often is this. I even see some like pretty well-known famous drummers doing this on their snare. And, this is just really bad technique. First off, it's really bad for your finger. And you don't really have the control that you're going to have if you keep your finger wrapped around this way. Try not to do the point. I always call that the point. Basically, you're losing your hinge on the door if you do that, if you know what I mean. Like, this is the hinge right here. And these 3 fingers, like I said, are the control. They're the springs. Like, say you have like a door with like a, one of those things that returns it. That's kind of like what your hand is doing here. If you're doing this, then that doesn't, yeah, you can do it, but it's weird. So try not to do that. There are times when like you're playing like super soft or something, and I've done it too, where maybe I want to do that a little bit just to get a really light touch. But for the most part, when you're doing rolls and things like that, try to avoid doing this, and definitely avoid doing it on your snare drum with your left hand, because you're going to injure your finger over time if you continue doing that. And plus, it just doesn't sound good. Every time I hear somebody do a rim shot and they're doing this, it sounds very choked. It never sounds good to me. Your sticks and how you're holding them will also affect how they sound when you hit the drums. Not on electronic drums, because electronic drums are just samples. But on acoustic drums, they will. So anyway, I didn't want to do like a full-blown notation lesson for this one. This is more of just a theory type lecture. So hopefully you found that educational and helpful. Let me know if you have any questions or comments down below, or questions. Leave them in the comments down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the bell icon, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great day.